Hey guys, hope everybody's fine. I know it's been a while since I did a meal time video, so things has been piling up quite a bit. So I want to go ahead and throw one together right fast and show y'all some of the stuff that's been sent into the channel. And you know, we always appreciate gifts and stuff that come in. It really some interesting stuff. And I know a lot of people like to see it, but we're not going to go through the normal unboxing. I'll unbox it, put it on the bench, and turn the camera on. So let's get right on into it. So our first items here was not actually in the mail, but dropped off by a viewer. And what we have is a couple of old Siltronics VFOs. Now, these things were mainly used on CB radios back in the days, but they are very handy as a frequency source. This is one I have never seen before, not in this style of Siltronics, and you can see it's got VFO by Siltronics on it. Now, I've never personally seen one like this, but it covers the I'm gonna say it covers the 27 megahertz band, probably 23 channels, and that's what it does. This has a number 1 on it, and Siltronics always mark their VFOs with a number or letter on them to denote the frequency. Now, I'm not sure what the frequency is on this one. We'll have to check that out and see right quick. Like I say, you know, they're good frequency sources. Let's see if we can figure out what frequency this thing is on. Okay, I got it hooked up to the frequency counter, got it turned on, and something ain't right. It's showing 4, 5 to 7 megahertz just sitting here, and tuning the dial doesn't really show anything. So something's wrong with it. So the first thing I want to do is look at the, I just got the cables clipped on to this connector. I'll take this off, and there's your problem. Let's hook it back up now and see what it does. Uh-huh. .8 megahertz. It goes up to 10.9. And down to like 10.69. So with a little fooling around, we'll go in there and probably tap on the coil and get this right on 10 megahertz to use as a 10 megahertz reference. Wouldn't be hard at all to do. And plus, if you need something in 10 megahertz, there's a signal source. Now, up next is the Siltronics Model 90 VFO. Now these things were highly sought after back in the day when people had old trams and Brownings and stuff. And you can see it covers the regular 40 channel CV band right on up to 27,800. And I'm not sure, but it looks like this one has a 3 on it. And I just about believe those were used on Browning radios. Let's see if it's got any life left in it. Okay. If it is, let's look up the ground. Don't think it was used on a Browning. This one starts out at 16.2 megahertz. And goes right on up. That's the end of it, 16.7. And that's in the CB position. So if we go to HF, it goes to 1700. So this VFO will cover 16.2 to 17 megahertz. And it does work. Again, you know, if you need a frequency source in that range, this is what you could use. But this happens to be the main piece that I was real interested in when he dropped it off. This is an Astatic Model G desk stand. This price was $24. Now, if you look here, it says grip to talk on-off switch. But the microphone that's in this box as you can see is not a G stand. And he's saying, well, how do you know this? Where's the PTT? If you look at it, it's got that old style audio type of mic jack that you would find on the Johnsons. No amplification board, no hole to adjust it, no PTT. And if you can see that, that is a F stand. Now this is a in great shape. I'm gonna tell you, it looks like it was brand new, put in a box and never used. And the reason I say that, because there's no wear on the felt, and it looks to be original felt on the bottom of it. It's got some cardboard sitting on it. It's got the original screws that are oxidized. And if someone was using it, your oil from your hands would cause this to pit and rust. And it's just in excellent condition. You can see that screw right there, how it's oxidized over the years. So yeah, this looks like this has never been used. And I've got plenty of D104s I can pop a head on it. But yeah, this would be great to work with the old AM transmitters like the Johnsons or so forth. Nice little piece to have there. I appreciate Wayne bringing those by and dropping them off. So next up is a package from my good old friend Joel out in California, and he actually sent these in for Christmas, buddy. Try these out. I think you will like them. Merry Christmas, Joe. Well, Joe, thank you. These are what's these? Quality test leads from ProbeMaster. And they're not oscilloscope probes, they're digital multimeter. It's got the little tip protectors. Very, very flexible. And this ain't old cheap plastic. This is actually like silicone. They feel very good. Got the little ring around it so you can't slide off of it. Chrome plated tips, and you see they're threaded and they have little sleeves on them. But something other than my other type of alligator clips I have, these actually screw on, and they're gold plated also. Very nice. And they are stamped ProbeMaster. Now something I don't see is the cat rating on these. I'm pretty sure it's in the package somewhere, but a lot of times they put the cat rating right on the lead somewhere, but I do not see it on these. Other than that, I mean, these are nice test leads, and these will be getting a lot of use. Appreciate that, Joe. These will come in handy. Thank you very much. And there's another package that came in from Joe. And look at that. That's a globe style tube. This is the X281. And someone's marked a little 60 there. I don't know if that's what they checked out at 60, but this is a rectifier tube, and that will be used in the Spartan 301 radio, because one of my rectifier tubes is bad. Now, I've been online and looking, and these tubes are running around $80. So I don't know where Joe found this one, but he sent this in, so thank you, Joe. This will come in real handy on getting that old Spartan up and running. Like I say, one of the tubes I got, the tube base is loose, and the filament comes on. It doesn't have that purplish haze to it, so I know that the rectifier tube is not working. So thanks, Joe. This is coming real handy for repairing that Spartan radio. Okay, we got a package here from Mr. George Oswald out in Washington State. And there's a note with it. Hey buddy, a couple of years back I picked up a Heathkit IT22 capacitor tester at a swap meet. Looked really good on the outside, and while the unit turned on and the I2 worked, once opened, it was very evident that it had a completely rebuilt kit. Inside was a disaster waiting to happen, so I put the tube in the drawer, figured I might use it on something. I saw your YouTube video on rebuilding the other Heathkit and was shocked at the price of the I2. So here is a spare for future. And look at that. There's a 629 I-tube. And you can look at the end of it. and it looks like it's never been used. A lot of times you'll see this turn dark, or you'll see the phosphor flaking off, but this one looks like it's brand new. Appreciate it, George. It's always good to have one or two of these laying around. You never know when I'll get another piece of equipment that's going to need one. Thank you very much. Okay, we got a package here from Chris Corey over in Georgia. So let's get stuff out and see what Chris is sitting in. And here we go. This is a about a 36 inch by 36 inch piece of grill cloth, and I really like the pattern on it. This is some pretty nice grill cloth. It's dark on one side and got that brown on this side. This will work out well for the Spartan radio and the Zenith radio. That's enough here to cover both of them. And Chris also sent in a stack of Sam's. Let's see what his letter has to say. Hello, buddy. Hope all is well with you and yours. Found these at a Hamfest being thrown out in the trash. Maybe you can do a car radio restore if you have time. Chris Corley. And also, here is the new grill cloth for your radio restore. And what we got here is a set of old Sam's car radio schematics. I love old Sam's books. The only Sam's that I have just about a complete whole set of Sam's for CB radios that I picked up years ago. Book 258, 139. You see dated 1973. 119, AR302. There's 118, 117, AR267, 170, 115, 116, 172, 165, all the way up to March 74, 207, which was December of 1975, and book 198. Well, these will really come in handy, Chris. I do work on a few car stereos from time to time. I don't do a lot. Most of the time when I do work on them, I don't even do a video on them. But maybe I'll do that sometime in the future. We'll just look and see. So thanks, Chris, for sending these in. These are very nice to have on hand. It's always nice to have paper stuff you can look at and fall through. Sometimes you go online, you look for, you know, schematics for car stereos. They're terrible. They're hard to read. They've been copied thousands of times. So these will come in handy. Appreciate it very much, Chris. And we have one more package that was sent in by Joe. Joe's really been pumping them out here lately. Now I've already been in this here and took some stuff out because there was a few things in here I needed. But here's something I think y'all will like. It's a little wall wart. And this is a 10 megahertz reference oscillator. I have seen these on eBay before and was thinking about getting one, and Joe, out of kindness and goodness of his heart, sent one to me. So we'll have to dedicate a whole video on playing with this thing and see just what's up with it. So I got the unit plugged in, and look at the spectrum analyzer. I do have a attenuator on it, and she's bang on frequency, sitting at minus 6.68 dBm. So it's working like a charm and spot on frequency. Got a little continue speak, and yeah, she's sitting right there. Very strong output signal on this also. You have to be careful what you hook these to, because you can overload something. And as you can see, if I didn't have this attenuator on it, it will probably drive that Spectrum analyzer crazy. And the attenuator I'm using is 0 to 4 gigahertz, 20 dB attenuator at 25 watt. So if you want to do the math, that'll tell you exactly what the output of this thing was. But Joe, thank you for that. It's always good to have a oven controlled crystal oscillator, especially 10 megahertz sitting around. This will be used quite a bit. Let's see, we got some rubber feet, always handy. Has an antique power cord, and this comes apart. You can put a new wire on them. Spray capacitor, 85C, 6,000 at 10 volts DC. Couple of nice binding posts, red, black, and green. I think I've seen these on some power supplies. Can't remember which power supply it was. I've seen these before on those. Several jumper socket pins using TTL logic. And there's a couple of ivory knobs. And these are a little dirty. Have to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. Somebody was working on a radio not long ago. I don't remember if it was Don or who it was that had some ivory knobs just like this on the radio they were working on. Let's go back and look and see. Them are old, probably from the 40s. These are radio, dial, and spring. Dial and spring. Yeah, child proof. Child can get in it and I can't. Okay, alright. Yep. There's the dial pointer and the spring. Looks like Joe might have tore down a radio at one time not long ago. Good to have, because sometimes these pointers break off and the spring is stretched out of place. It's nice to have those. It's an old domino capacitor. .5, and this I cannot even read that once I put it on the magnifying glass. That's a 10 microhenry choke. In fact, I think I need this here for one of the projects I'm working on. I believe this is the box I've been into. Yep. Several big old ohmite resistors in here. And I done robbed one of them out. 2000K. 10 watts. And there's a 12,000K. I actually used one of those in an old radio. Okay, so this package here comes from one of our Patreon members, Dennis, and he told me he had a couple things he was going to send me. And the first one is a book, and this is servicing transistor radios with analysis up to 70 models. And Howard Sams Company, Incorporated, 1958. First printing in April of 1958. So this is a old book, and at the time it was $2.95, which was very pricey for back in the day. And it's got Admirals, Irvines, Dumont, Emerson, Hallicrafters, General Electric, Motorola's, Hoffman, RCA's, Pontiacs, True Tone, Westinghouse, and what it is, just a lot of old radios from back in the day. The Regency Pocket Transistor Radio. I don't think I've ever seen that's a Motorola Model 66 Ti. This old General Electric. As an airline, I've had one of those before. Has a leather case. Admiral. Lots of good information when you're working on these old radios, and these will come in very handy also. Now, one of the other things else that Dennis sent in, he found some Gates Red Oil. Now this is great for finishing these old radios in this wood, and I have not been able to find any around here. I've been using Old English for a good while, and this stuff is supposed to be a lot better than that is. So we'll be giving this a try here in the future on some of these old radio cases that we have in here, and see just how well it does. From what I understand, this is some of the best you can get. That's a small bottle, but you know, it don't take a lot of this, and it goes quite a bit. So imagine everybody was wondering what was in the big box. Well, this is from Bob. I think he's over in Tennessee, I believe. Yes, he's over from Tennessee. And he sent a note. He said, "Buddy, I have thrown in some extra goodies that you might find useful." And I'm not going to read the next part because that'll kind of give it away. And I look forward to seeing this one in action on your future videos. Enjoy, Bob. Well, Bob, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and start off by showing what Bob sent. First thing he sent in was the complete book of oscilloscopes, and you see right on the front of it is a Syncor, and I think that's the CS61 model or something very close to it. I can't see the model number. Okay, that's the CS60. If you know, y'all remember, I have a CS61 that I had purchased off of eBay, and it come in and it was damaged, but I went ahead and kept it. And great oscilloscopes for doing RF work. They'll take a whole lot more abuse than these digital scopes out there. In fact, I don't even like using digital scopes on RF work. It's okay for troubleshooting, you know, digital electronics or whatever, but for RF work, these old Syncors are tough. And, you know, a lot of the techs are too. A lot of great talking about high frequency spectrum analyzers. This will be a good weed. It's like the old 2013 Tektronix. I think I got one of them over there in the shelf that's in dire need of repair. Very nice book. And it even has his name in it. Now this is I found interesting. Now I have some older set of these. Well, only one piece, one part got destroyed and threw away. But these are Macronter logic probes. If you've ever seen these, this is the pulsar from Macronter, and this is the logic probe. And maybe one day over on Patreon or something, I might do a tutorial on these. So if you're a Patreon member, stick by. We'll see what we can find on these. Thanks, Bob. Those are very nice. We'll have to give them a try and see how good they work. Okay, so what was in the big box? And here it is. It's a Syncor CS61, and I'm gonna tell you, it is in pristine condition. I mean, no scratches on the front. It looks just about brand new. That's the simplified operating instructions manual. Now, I have the regular manuals for these that I got when I got my CS61 that's broken, and one day I like to try to fix. But not only did he send the scope, he sent 2 original probes for the CS61. These are the Syncor probes, the original ones. 10x probe low capacitance. Let's go ahead and take one out of the bag here. There we go, and then you see it's also got the terminal on it, and these are the 39G294 probes, and they are in excellent condition, and even has the probe kit with it, the extra wire and protection collars and stuff that go on it, and they have the little mini grabbers on the end. Let's fire this thing up and take a look at it. Okay, she's plugged in. We'll turn the power on. I see the scale up here illuminates, and look at that. 2 beautiful traces. Hook up the probe. And there's a square wave. my pros that I have with mine are in pretty bad shape. They work, but they need some work done to them. We'll put this on frequency. And we got a reading of 2.7955. Hook the other probe up. And look at that. Just great. Beautiful display. The trace is excellent on it. And looks real good. Now I'm going to incorporate this one on one of the benches. And it's going to mostly just be used for radio repair. Mostly ham radios. Seems to work like a charm. Alright, there's a little bit better shot of it. And I guarantee you it's also in decent calibration. Well, there you have it, the Syncor CS61. Now one of these days we're going to take my other one down that's sitting up on the top shelf, and we'll go through it and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. And as you can see, there it is on the top shelf right here. And if you remember, it's been probably 2 years ago I had talked about that, and it has a intermittent problem in it. Now when that thing was first came in, it was broken right here on this corner, and I repaired that, and the unit wouldn't power up. I found a connector had came loose during shipping. I fixed that and the unit worked, and then after a couple of months the trace started flickering, and it's been down here ever since. I don't think it's a lot of major problems. I think there's probably a crack in the circuit board or something that we'll have to look at. So Bob told me that he had wanted to give this, and we had made an arrangement, and I told him I'd even pay for the shipping, but he went ahead and took care of it himself. The next thing I know, it was at the front door. So Bob, I really appreciate this, and this unit will get a lot of use here on the bench. Now big oscilloscopes like this, it's, I don't know, 18-20 inches deep. It's nice to have them on a cart to roll them around, but I don't have room here in the shop for a cart. So although I do have a cart out in the garage, maybe when I do some remodeling I'll move this over on one of the carts. I got another room in here that I'm going to clean out, and looking at building another addition here on the shop to put my ham shack back in, because right now I don't even have the room to set up my equipment. Mostly when I talk on the radio, it's right here on the bench, and normally when I'm testing them. So I want to get this addition started, get that finished up, and I'm gonna put my ham shack and a storage room in here so I can get some of this stuff that I'm storing in the shop out, and that's going to open up room for another workbench also. And I'm going to dedicate that bench probably to RF work. And still going to have the main bench here that we're using right now to do some things, but I might set up that bench just for RF work. So with that, guys, a lot of nice goodies come in, and I really appreciate it. I thank you so much. It's just been tough getting to it. Stuff's been coming in a little bit here and there, so I decided it's time to go ahead and do a mail time video, because I can't remember the last one we haven't done one. So I'll try not to go so far this time or next time, so we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, thanks everyone for sending stuff in. I appreciate it, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye now.